A layout task that comes up quite a lot for me is marking 4 points equally distant from sides near a corner. I usually do this by setting a square or marking gauge to the distance I want and marking each side to locate the point with a cross. Another common variation of this is 2 points per corner, each with the same distance to the closer outside edge and the further outside edge. My typical process for laying this out is to use 2 squares or 2 marking gauges set to the different distances to locate each point. Now, there's nothing terrible about either of these. I could keep doing this, it's not that big a deal, but I did get an idea for an interesting marking gauge type tool that would speed things up and do the process in kind of a more interesting way. And it seemed like a fun, quick build, so I went for it. Let's get it built and I'll show you how it works. I'm putting my cork rubber on the contact surfaces of the marking gauge to protect the workpiece and give some extra grip to hold it in place while you're doing the marking. And I'm going to include plans for this corner marking gauge with the purchase of the cork rubber that I sell. There's a link in the description to a video describing the tests that I did to source the best cork rubber I could find and where you can purchase it to get the plans for this corner marking gauge and the other projects that I've done that are made better by cork rubber. I'm doing these to make the purchase a better value proposition and also just to show the potential that this has beyond just a vise liner. So here it is. I'm setting it up to mark points equally distant from both sides of a 90-degree corner. The removable darker wood slotted piece just below the knobs stops the narrowing of the reference arms at 90-degree angle. And as I'm sure you've worked out, you fit the tool into the corner of the workpiece and use the countersunk hole to mark your point. For the 2 holes per corner setup, you widen the angle of the reference surfaces, and because the marking bar of the tool stays in the middle of this angle, you can place one reference surface against the workpiece and then the other and mark with the 2 countersunk holes further up the marking bar for the symmetric spacing of 2 holes per corner. Just a final comment to wrap it up. My previous typical last step after drawing the cross to locate my point was to poke a small hole with an awl for the brad point bit that I was going to use to drill holes at these points. I didn't do this in the video because it's less visible than pencil, but you could just use the awl first with this new tool and just skip the pencil. Hope you enjoyed this and got something from it. Thanks for watching.